Good morning. Bill Hurtado with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Frederick, Colorado is about 25 miles north of Denver, right here. Great place, but don't be confused with my cell phone number that starts with 714. I am not in Southern California. We're here 25 miles north of Denver. And here is where I have this gem that we just got in. This is a 2019 Winnebago Revel, model 44E. This is a great rig. The Revel is one of the most popular vehicles anywhere right now. They are obviously well liked. They sell out of them regularly. Having a trade-in like this 2019 with only 28,000 miles on it is really nice to have here, and it could be really nice for you. Let me explain a few things on this one right here. This particular unit has some upgrades on it, like the BF Goodrich all-terrain TA KO2 tires. Also the Method wheels on there, the black powder coated wheels, very sharp looking. This unit has undermounted 2 AGM batteries for the house, and of course the standard battery for the chassis from Mercedes. As I'm moving around here, I can point out that it was very simple for me to key the little lever on the back there and flip this seat around. So both seats in the front do swing around and face backwards, hence becoming your living room area, if you will. Table flips up over there. Table flips up outside over here. Little leg connects to that. That's mounted inside. Has the screen package, which I moved out of the way for us to get in and out of here a little easier. We'll do that after I go around and show you a few things on the outside. Winnebago has made it very simple for you to do certain operations. Like, do you want to just fill your fresh water tank? Do you want to drain your fresh water tank? Do you want to winterize the thing yourself in a matter of minutes for the cost of 1 gallon of antifreeze, about $5? Also, you've got the ability to put your Curly Q spray port outside here, the little pigtail sprayer with a quick connect, so you can have some water outside right here. Very simple usage on everything on this unit. This does have a nice big solar panel up on top, keeping those batteries topped off 100% of the time. But if you wanted to add extra, because you're out in the boonies for long periods of time, you can add a solar panel with a connector going right into the side right here. Now this will integrate to the controller inside, and you can virtually double or triple your input from solar with that. We do have outside patio outlet right here. So if you're hooked up at a campground and plugged in, you can have the extension of power coming over to this side of the unit right here. So perhaps you'd maybe want to put that little Traeger over here. I'm a big Traeger fan, and requires some AC power, but my oh my, does it make some good steaks and chicken and everything else. So right now I've got the awning extended out here. This is a 7-foot span on this, has the full LED light strip on the inside over here. You can stop that thing anywhere along the line that you want to. And you'll notice that there's a little black box up here. That means that it does have the built-in mercury switch, which I refer to as a ripple sensor, if you will. If the wind kicks up on this thing, it'll automatically put itself away. So nice feature there. The doors back here have changed. Now in this vintage of 2019, we had the ability to unhook this door and bring it all the way around to the side. So that was kind of nice for easier access for things in there. You're not confined to having that thing straight ahead. The new ones, unfortunately, only open up to that straightforward position right there. So that's kind of a nice feature. Wanted to talk about this ladder a little bit. So this ladder on here unscrews from the bottom, pops off, and you'll notice up at the top the red cups that are on top of that. So what's nice about this ladder is it will connect anywhere along the rail at the very top, along the side. So you just hang the ladder on there at any position and you can climb up anywhere on the roof. So well thought out right there. This unit also has the 5,000-pound hitch already installed on it and the 7-way plug. As I've told you in many of my videos, a 7-way plug is what you want because you can always adapt down, you cannot adapt up. So very nice to have that. Previous owner did some upgrades on this thing, which are really nice. Now, these boxes right here, these are super heavy duty, really strong. And these are made by a company called Owl, O-W-L. Really fantastic storage in here. Up on this top one, you have a little bit different opening that way. But these are lock boxes. They're weather tight. Really nice to keep some valuables in. We've seen people put a lot of different things in here. But how nice is that to have it out of the way, not taking up space inside. This also has the extra water bottles on the side. Kind of think of it as emergency water, or maybe something to pour out of the campsite when you're burning a fire there. For whatever reason, it's just nice to have the extra water capacity right there. Okay, as we move around this side over here, this does come with a 30 amp cord that's 25 feet long. So that'll hook up at the campground, very simple. And again, you can have an adapter to drop down to your 15 amp circuit if you so desire. All right, so I mentioned winterizing on the other side. I'm a big fan of people knowing how to do this themselves. I've been winterizing RVs since I moved to Colorado in 1984 from California. Winterizing, what's that? I had no idea. Well, since then, I'm sure I've winterized thousands. And it is such an easy process. I urge you to learn how to do it yourself if the time comes. Big cold snap comes along all of a sudden. You've got it stored in the wintertime anyway. You want to use it one weekend. You can de-winterize and winterize yourself in a matter of minutes. And only for the cost of a gallon of antifreeze, which is about $5. So I want to teach you how to do it. When you come see me for this thing here, that's a promise I'll make to you right now. I'll teach you how to winterize this thing yourself. Takes about 10 minutes. It's super easy. We'll talk about that. That being said, some people will still use this thing in the wintertime and leave it winterized. The reason they do that is because they will carry some fresh water with them. There's some outside storage right there, which obviously if you're using it in the wintertime, that's going to freeze. But carry some water for your cooking or cleaning up on the inside. And then you can still, with it winterized, use the toilet system on here, because this is the cassette style toilet that is independent from the rest of the water system right here. So using the toilet and having your tank removable right here, take that out, go dump it, recharge, put it back in. Nice system. Makes it really easy to use this in multiple ways. So there is a 18-gallon holding tank on this, and down on the bottom you can see where you've got your discharge termination right there. That cap just comes off of there. Your hose goes on. To the left is the black handle that you would pull, and that empties your tank out to the outside here. At the campground, hooked up to a fresh water hose, the hose would connect up here, what's called a city fill, and that's going to pressurize everything in the system so that you can use all the water that's in there. Rather, you can use all the fixtures for water that are in there. That will be nice because you're not using any of the 18-gallon storage of fresh that you've got on board. It bypasses that and just pressurizes the entire system. So nice feature to have there. All right, this little tip right here looks like a gas line, you know, behind your oven. That there is the exhaust for the system in here that has a circulatory glycol. It's a vessel of glycol that circulates around the perimeter, blowing heat out in different areas, so you have even heating throughout. It runs on either electricity or it has its own diesel-fired burner, and that's what you would need this tube for. When you fire up the diesel-fired burner, it'll exhaust that those fumes out of there. It's an extremely efficient system. They're still using it today. They've made a few little modifications for whatever reason, but the premise is still the same on this. And I have it myself in my own RV, and I gotta tell you, it's amazing how efficient that is and how well it heats. In addition to that, going back to my city fill over here, you're at the campground, you're hooked up to your city water. So you have unlimited water going in. Say you've got your hose connected going out, you've got your valve open right there. You have unlimited hot water capabilities with this same circulatory system right here. So your hot water lines run back and forth through that tank, giving you unlimited hot water. So how nice would it be if you want to take a 20-minute shower in this thing while you're hooked up at the campground? Go for it, no problem. You can certainly do that. So kind of a nice feature right there. I'm going to sit in the seat and show you some things on the dash, but while we're out here, I wanted to show you how easy it is to access, say, your fuse panel if you need to. Mercedes made it very simple, being right there. You're not having to climb underneath the dash to get to stuff. And while I'm looking at this, I noticed that this thing has a red button that I hadn't seen on these before called air compressor. Now, battery boost is in case you need to jump your house and coach battery together just to start the engine. Unlikely, but it's nice to have there. But the air compressor was a nice thing that I thought, oh, I want to find that. I want to see what that's all about. Well, it looks to me like the air compressor is mounted right here under the hood. So there is a service port on the side of that. I did run it. Sounds great. So having some high pressure air at your disposal, again, it's one of those priceless things. You may never need it, but if you do, it's worth its weight in gold. So I purposely stuck the Carfax report up here in the front because there was something I didn't want to forget. One of the things I've seen on the Revel up through about 2020 has been the Sprinter chassis has had a problem with usability, if you will, user friendliness. I'm not sure what it is. People were making some mistakes with this hood. They have since changed the hood prop on this thing, but for some reason, people would lock that in and just grab the hood and pull. Obviously, it would bend everything over here and it would have to be replaced. Funny, when I was looking through the Carfax, I came across this hood prop replaced. So that's why I set this up here. I wanted to show everybody. Maybe now you won't ever do that. Just be careful. It's very simple to push up slightly on this, push in slightly on that, and it'll close. Okay. Another thing that's changed on the chassis for Sprinter here, it's the same engine, same transmission. This has an exposed air filter element right here. So you can walk right up and see any debris that's on your air filter. It obviously pops out very easy if you wanted to clean some of the dust off of it, but you know immediately without having to take anything apart when it's time to replace that. Now that, coupled with how easy it is to get everything in here, or get access to everything, your coolant reservoir tank, your diesel emission fluid, oil fill, oil check, battery connectivity here, since that's mounted outside underneath, windshield washer fluid. Very simple, nice and easy to get to everything. There's your brake fluid reservoir. So kind of a nice setup right there. One thing they haven't changed that I really like is the accessibility to use this as a step, climb up, get to that windshield up there much easier. You stop at the car wash on the way home, or sorry, you stop at the gas station on the way there or coming home, and now you can use that squeegee and get the full windshield cleaned up there. So, nice outside stuff. Back to the Carfax report. Some cool things on here. This has one owner reported. The most recent listing of anything on here is where the mileage was 26,388. Now it's just over 27,000. So this is a very fresh report, up to date. There is no open recall. There has never been any airbag deployment. No accidents or damage. In addition, you can see how these people have just gone through and been very, very good about service on this thing. They have done full services when need be. And in addition to that, I did pull up, there's a check box on the Carfax report, warranty check. So I wanted to see if there was any warranty remaining on this thing. So the basic 36-month, 36,000 mile has expired on it already. However, the 5-year 100,000 on the drivetrain, engine, transmission, rear axle, has 1 month left. Now, no pressure, but wouldn't it be nice to buy this thing knowing that it's still got some warranty on there? We, of course, can extend that warranty out for you. We've got different programs available. We can talk about that at the time. But right now, you'll buy this with Mercedes warranty on the powertrain still in effect. So, good to know right there. We just got to do something in the next month. All right, so let's go inside. I want to show you some things in here. The Revel is a very well laid out and designed unit that just makes sense in a lot of ways. So back here in the bedroom area, this is a wide open space right here that has tons of room for cargo. There's tie downs on the floors. There's AC and DC hookups back here in the back. And then also back here in this corner is more hot and cold running water. So you can shower or clean up doing things outside if you so desire. I talked to you about the pigtail curly Q hose. There it is right there. So again, that'll work back over here or over there. And then you see the wooden shelves down there. Those are actually going to go in the bathroom if you want to use the bathroom as a pantry. So lots of extra space. Otherwise, they're out right now while we travel with this thing. This is the front windshield and side windshield covers for the inside going around. So the previous owner took very nice care of stuff, kept everything well organized. There is a small pantry right here for food that has adjustable shelving in it. There is an induction cooktop over here. Got my screen kind of in the way, but there we go. This has a nice huge sink right here that you can actually put some plates in and hide with the cover if you don't feel like doing dishes right now. But it also gives you a nice work surface up on the top. This has to pump water from one side to the other on the tank area over there. So that's what the little pump is. It takes your sink water right here and sends it over to the holding tank. 12-volt refrigerator on here. A lot of people have heard a lot of you people have heard me talking about the 12-volt refrigerators and how big a fan I am of those. No coils in the back, so you have full depth for storage on this thing. It cools down 4 times faster than a regular RV refrigerator. And you don't have to be level when you operate this thing. So you can be on the side of a mountain, you can be on Lombard Avenue facing down at a 45-degree angle, and the thing is going to run just fine and cool well for you. Draws very little power. Coupled with the solar, it's practically perpetual motion. So very nice to have a 12-volt fridge. I just can't say enough about those. I think it's one of the greatest inventions the RV industry has come up with. So when it's time to call it a night, this bed right here drops down into position. Okay, I told you I fit on there with a little bit of space left over. You can get a look at that and see that it's a good 6.5 feet long, maybe slightly longer. Very comfortable, Gets up out of your way, so you have the big cargo area now back there in case you want to move furniture across town. So kind of multifunctional in that regard. All right, so let's talk bathroom. Remember the wooden shelves we saw on the floor down there? Those can go inside the bathroom right here and give you an enormous amount of pantry space. So they would fit onto these little posts sticking out in different areas. So you got 3 areas right there. There's only 2 on the new one, so 3 on the older one here. I thought that was pretty clever. This is part of that cassette toilet, and this will swivel so you can sit anywhere you want with that thing. And then they've got a way to hide your toilet paper back there, so if you're showering in here, you're not going to get that wet. And the curtain just drops in here so it doesn't come out onto the floor. So very nice, easy to use wet bath, we call that. All right, so I talked to you about the table outside. This is the leg that would connect, so you can use that on the outdoor patio area right there. Underneath this seat is where the heating unit is for your comfort heating and for the unlimited hot water. And those controls are up here. So this one is a little simpler to use than the new style now. Everything's all digital on the new ones, and it can be a little challenging, but it's still very simple either way. Depending on what you want to do, your hot water or furnace, then that'll fire that thing up down there and give you whatever feature you want. The fan on this thing can be turned to high or low. And then your solar controller over here, that is, remember, coupled with the connector outside. The solar is already up on the roof, so it's charging 100% of the time. Well, when it gets some sun, it's charging. And then over here we have our battery level indicator, our tank levels. We can see where they are at any given time. We can turn our water pump on and off from here, or we can turn it on from outside in the back when I open that door with the cargo containers. There's another switch back there. So very nice that you can get to everything very easy. If you're plugged in at a campground, you'll probably want to turn that water heater on electric so that you're not using up any of your diesel fuel from the diesel fired burner right there. And you have an inverter on board as well. So the inverter is going to take power off of your house batteries and turn it into AC power on the inside here. Now that's a 750 watt inverter. So it's kind of limited. You're not going to be able to run a microwave oven most likely, but you know, maybe that CPAP machine, or you know, just small appliances, charging things up, it's televisions, that kind of thing. So you don't have to have AC power available if you use your inverter, because it provides it for you. There's that window I was talking about from the outside. I was telling you how that's a dual polycarbonate, tilts out from the top. You can have that open when it's raining. You got the screen from the bottom. You've got the full block out from the bottom, screen from the top. And then even a transition mode right there, so you can have full security but still have a little gap going around if you want to get some air through there. It's a table that flips up over here, and when that does, it flips up and flips over. So if we turn this seat around, we've got an actual dinette right here. All right, so let's talk dash on this thing, because this is quite a bit different than the new ones. The new ones are all electronic and have the little stick right here and push button park. This is more of an old school type setup in that you've got a actual gear stick. So very simple, and then you've got manual control for shifting. More analog looking than digital up on the front up here. Your 4-wheel drive, your hill holder, those are all things that are very easy with just a simple push button. You have very little fuel in this. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll make sure it's filled up for you. Let's see. Let me go ahead and start it. All right. So this system right here is very simple, very easy to use, very user-friendly. Not quite as many features as the new ones, but it's got the important stuff that people want. So we have obviously AM/FM radio. We can Bluetooth from our favorite devices to this thing. Sirius XM radio is already built into it right there. This is an Alpine stereo system, so Alpine has their own apps that you can access and use as well. If you wanted to go, say, back to the backup camera right there, there we are. So what's nice about this over the new ones also is you can use this backup camera 100% of the time. I like that feature because it's nice, especially if you're towing something, you want to see what's going on back there. Keep an eye on your boat or small car or what have you. So very easy to use, very simple. The controls on this thing are just, you know, everything's going to work very easy. You don't have complicated digital screens that, okay, which button do I push? How do I get to that? Obviously, you'll get used to it on the new ones, but this is more in tune with what everybody's familiar with. So very easy to use everything. That's feeling pretty good. It's kind of a hot day today. All right. 2019 Winnebago Revel, 27,000 miles on it. 1 month of warranty left on the drivetrain. This is a great opportunity for somebody to get into the Revel Club and start enjoying life with one of the most popular vehicles out there on the planet. I would urge you to pick up the phone and give me a call. Let's talk about this thing. My cell phone number you see on there is 714-809-4813. Not in Southern California, I'm in Colorado, 25 miles north of Denver. Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick. I look forward to hearing from you. This is a great opportunity for somebody to get into the Revel that they've wanted for a long time. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate you checking in.